What up? What up? New Game in Order. This is your co-CEO, co-producer Alexlexus, Nelson, Shinwar, and we got Dmizzle playing guest with us today. And this is a Royal Rumble response video. We all just got done watching the 2015 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We're just gonna give our initial impressions on this podcast. It won't be long and drawn out, but um, overall, it's a major disappointment. There's a lot of things that were poorly executed. That I know Demiz will say when his chance comes that WWE is somewhat out of touch with the audience because they were clearly saying what they wanted, but unfortunately, you're gonna have a up and coming superstar who's going to become a victim of mismanagement. But going around, I'm gonna give Shinwar the floor first. Um,
Huh?
what are your thoughts on the pay per view as a whole, and you know how they could have improved on it, Shinwar?
Um, I think I'll just start off with the championship match. Um, Storyline wise, okay, Brock Lesnar was able to retain and go on to WrestleMania 31. Um, it was a few good spots in there.
Hmm.
Um, but I think Nelson mentioned it. Brock barely did anything.
Yeah,
So,
Cena and Seth Rollins really held that match.
exactly. So
So
pretty much they carried Brock for that match to make the match look good.
yeah.
But going into the Royal Rumble, there was a few guest spots which were cool with Devon Dudley. That was awesome. Diamond Dallas Page.
Bubba Ray.
What I say, Devon? Yeah, I'm sleepy, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
the pay
Bubba
per view
Ray.
kind of put us to sleep.
Yeah, Bubba Ray. The Boogeyman versus Wade Bryant, which was it was quick, but it was cool. Um, Overall, it wasn't strong.
Mm,
It was predict. We knew, what the outcome was gonna be. Um, they used The Rock to co-sign his cousin, which was it was a big pop for him coming out, but to use him to co-sign, basically, you're using somebody's status to shove somebody else down our throats.
hmm.
And it's like, okay, we knew he was gonna win. That's why the crowd went ballistic, because they're like, really, you're gonna do this in front of us?
Yeah, he got booed when he came out after Daniel Bryant's elimination. Which why did it happen so early in the
Yeah.
Royal Rumble match?
It and that goes back to last year. They're punishing this man, and yet WWE is out of touch. The people want Bryan, and his championship reign from last year was cut short
Yeah,
because of his
injury.
injury.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's just I don't know. To me, I was really hyped for Royal Rumble, and then it was just like a letdown, man. But Demizzle, what are your thoughts on the pay per view as a whole? Championship match, Royal Rumble match itself.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I give that pay per view a 2. It
Wow.
was just mismanaged. Like, the highlight of the night was a championship match, and I'll give props to Seth Rollins. He really showed out tonight, but that was like pretty much the only bright spot of the entire night.
Hmm.
I'm glad I didn't like pay $59.99 for it because I have the WWE network, so WWE only got $10 of my money, and quite frankly, the pay per view wasn't even worth that.
And the funny thing, those like Shinwar and I were actually supposed to go and view this at a Buffalo Wild Wings
Hmm.
or a Hooters. They're not even carrying pay-per-views anymore for WWE because
Yeah.
of the cable networks, the fight with that. But also now, like I've always been saying, you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? Like it's just gone to shit. The
Like
writing
the
is terrible, man.
the problem is that Vince McMahon is just very very out of touch with what the people like. There's a lot of infighting within the WWE.
Oh yeah.
There's what Vince McMahon ultimately wants and what Triple H ultimately wants, what Triple H and Stephanie McMahon ultimately want. And Vince McMahon is still sold on the idea of the giant Superman
Yeah.
wrestler type, and they're in a lot of danger of alienating a lot of fans because, like in the Attitude Era, people have moved on from that, and they want to see guys like Dean Ambrose, and they want to see guys like Seth Rollins, and they want to see guys like Daniel Bryan. They don't want to see the Big Show. They don't want to see Kane. They don't. They want to see Dolph Ziggler. They want to see those guys. They don't want to see Ryback. Like they're honestly in very serious danger of ruining a promising talent in Roman
Yeah,
Reigns
I agree.
Yeah.
because the big mistake they made was allowing him to talk. And Roman Reigns is not a very strong talker. And
Mhm.
then when you allow him to talk and you see the deficiencies there, you everything else becomes more magnified about what he can't do.
Now,
And
you know what, Demiso, real quick. Brock Lesnar is not a great talker, but they paired him up with Paul Heyman. They did the
Right.
same for Cesaro, thinking that that might get Cesaro over that hump or get that it that Vince McMahon keeps claiming that Cesaro doesn't have. Would that help Roman Reigns now that they're trying to shoehorn him into the face of the company role?
I think the role of a manager is a lost art, and that Paul Heyman is the last great manager
Mm-hmm.
because he's essentially a mouthpiece for those who can't talk. And I disagree with them pairing Cesaro with Paul Heyman because that essentially killed off his momentum because he was coming off a very impressive at the the Andre the Giant Battle Royal
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And if they let Cesaro talk, he's actually a very good talker. They just don't allow him to.
Mm.
Like Paul Heyman serves a very specific purpose. Like
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar, he has the look, he has the ability, and the less he says, the better. And
Yeah.
putting Paul Heyman with him like serves that purpose. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see who you could put Roman Reigns with unless you suddenly decide, okay, we're not gonna let Dean Ambrose wrestle and we're gonna let him be a mouthpiece. Like what I would suggest is I would honestly have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins swap places because Roman Reigns will be more effective in the authority because Seth Rollins is a good talker. He's not great,
Yeah, he doesn't
but
need the support because when the authority was gone, he was still doing his thing.
yeah, he's not a
Right.
guy that needs someone behind him in order to get over. Roman Reigns needs that because once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't stuff it back in. The best you can do is just attempt to hide any other deficiencies that he may have.
And that's
And the
why they
best,
brought out The Rock. That's why they
yeah,
brought
like,
out The Rock.
congratulations to you, WWE. You have managed to get people to boo The Rock.
Oh
Good
yeah,
job.
yeah. Oh, you know what? What they could have done to salvage that, not eliminate Bryant so early. It should have been him and Roman Reigns battling it out and
I
make it
don't think it should have
interesting.
been. I don't think it should have been him and Roman Reigns at the end. I think it should have been. I agree with you with not limiting Daniel Bryan early because he is obviously who the fans want to see. Like the hardcore fans want to see him, the casual fans want to see him.
Hmm.
People want the spotlight on this man because they want to see what he can do when he's given the ball.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even though he was given a ball, he wasn't given a chance to run with it because he got hurt.
Hmm.
My thing is like allow this man to run with the ball now that he's healthy.
Yeah.
Like what they should have did was have him eliminated in the final stages of the Royal Rumble match. That way the fans wouldn't have shit all over it. They would have been mad, but they wouldn't have been as mad because he would have gotten far where all the authority members are there, and then you could have made the argument, well, the authority screwed him over because you had the Big Show and
Yeah, yeah,
Kane
yeah.
there, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well,
so you could have had him involved in that storyline going forward. But now you have Bray Wyatt eliminate him, and it does nothing because Bray Wyatt's expected to feud with the Undertaker going into WrestleMania,
Right.
and that pretty
Yeah.
much leaves Daniel Bryan in limbo, so to speak.
you know what I think they need to do? Probably, I hate to go back to the well more than once, but they're gonna have to make that a triple threat match to make it anything worth watching. You
Yeah,
know,
they're gonna have to salvage it. They're either gonna have to make it a triple threat match with Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns, with Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar pretty much doing the bulk of the wrestling, with Roman Reigns apparent showing up every once in a while to hit a Superman punch, or
but what
Mm-hmm.
about what Brock Lesnar did tonight? That wasn't impressive at all. You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Seth
think it was
Rollins.
meant. I
It's,
think, see, but let me hear me out. Hear me out. I
mhm.
think this was done to highlight Seth
Seth
Rollins
Rollins. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
because
but you know, not
even
to
though
cut you off, Dave. Not for the sake of time. I wanted to give Nelson a time at the wheel. Nelson, what are your thoughts on the championship match and the main event Royal Rumble match itself? Uh, I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It's just not good. But your thoughts?
I'm gonna take this pay per view and pretend it never happened because I honestly wasted almost 2.5 hours watching this. I honestly had expectations of being thrilled this time because of all the hype that this was caused by the title match, the Royal Rumble entrance, and who's gonna come. You had
Mm-hmm.
your first match, okay? You had the Ascension versus the Road Dogs. To me, that was a whatever match. The
Filler.
Ascension won, so fucking what? That no one cared about that. Then you had the triple threat title match, right? That was interesting. It got interesting. And then what happened? Brock Lesnar got hit with one fucking elbow from the top rope right onto the supposed rib right here. And he was out for like maybe 15 minutes of the match.
Yeah.
During that time, John Cena and Seth Rollins did put on a good show. I commend these two wrestlers for that. But again, I had a friend on my phone who's a Brock Lesnar fan, so that's his business. Brock Lesnar came back in the end results after Seth Rollins hitting that ridiculous off the top rope move,
Falling Star Press, baby.
falling
Woohoo.
star press, and he comes in and German suplex Seth Rollins. He got bodied. Then he does the same thing to John Cena. He gets bodied. And then Seth Rollins gets the F5 match over. Then, on top of that, which made it worse, he didn't use the Money in the Bank contract to redeem that match, only for him and Brock to be on one and continue.
Mm.
What are you doing, my friend? Like,
It's the writers, Nelson. It's the writers, and I'm just now. I mean, going into WrestleMania, Road to WrestleMania. Now the new pay-per-view Fast Track is on board, replacing Elimination Chamber
Fastlane.
or whatever that is. Fast Track. I'm tired. That pay-per-view literally like bored the hell out of me after the Bryant thing. I'm like, wow, this lost its thunder, man.
and
But
then, on top of that, you have the Royal Rumble. Now, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to say, like, oh, this should have happened, but whatever, because I don't write for WWE. The whole thing with Daniel Bryan, I don't care. And I'm going to say why.
what?
If you came back after 9 months of injury, this is the way how I would, like, run a business. If you came back after 9 months of injury, despite the fact of your popularity, I'm not giving you an instant win at the Royal Rumble. You start right back from the bottom of the barrel and work your ass right back up if you're that good of
But
a
that's a
wrestler.
contradiction with Roman Reigns
No,
because
no,
he
I'm
was
gonna get to
hurt.
that. I'm gonna get to
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna get to that.
Mhm.
And then you had your little few superstars that popped up. You had Bubba Ray Dudley, which was the shock of the night with that. Diamond Dallas Page, it was good for him to do the diamond cutter at least like 4 times. Boogeyman, he's irrelevant now, so no one cares. He's just a waste of space. That's why he got bodied with a clothesline.
Yeah, I'm unbelievable.
And then you had wrestlers like, let's see. You had wrestlers like Bray Wyatt that could have potentially won the Royal Rumble. You could have had Dolph Ziggler that could have won the Royal Rumble. You could have had Dean Ambrose that could have won the Royal Rumble. And of course, Roman Reigns. Don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns is a very good wrestler, but as what Dave was saying, his speaking ability and to make promos and such like that, it's a work in progress.
Right,
He hasn't
right.
had that much time to work on it. I'm surprised no one in his family helped him, coaching him to do these things.
He's
but,
doing acting classes or something like that, from what I understand. So,
okay, but you know he's working on it. And in my opinion, I didn't care who won the Royal Rumble. Just show me some entertainment, and I'm fucking fine. The whole thing with everyone getting mad and chanting Daniel Bryan, and you know the whole.
oh, and there was CM Punk chants too. I mean,
Well, see that's a given. That's always gonna happen. But he's not coming back.
yeah.
And then you had all these Daniel Bryan chants. I'm like, dude, give it a rest. He lost. He lost. Who cares? Like, are you gonna ask for your money back because if a wrestler lost? No, you're not.
But
gonna
you see,
get
it
back.
can have a ripple effect down the line. Like, all right, you don't like to give us what we want, we're not going to pay. And I bet you subscribership for the WWE network might take a hit. But I'm just saying. But giving a second round for everybody to chat before we log off. Shinwar, anything else you want to add? Like how this can potentially shape the landscape for WrestleMania 31? And
Well, mhm.
go ahead.
No, we got to look at quote unquote storyline wise now. Where are we going next? Fastlane, WrestleMania. They teased that Triple H and Stephanie coming at the end of the Royal Rumble, very ticked off at The Rock. And I don't know if anybody remembers when Triple H and The Rock were on that episode of SmackDown, going off on each other or whatever. So that was, was it foreshadowed?
Hmm.
That was teased, and then you got Sting and Triple H teased, and they already showed Brock Lesnar holding a belt with Paul Heyman looking at Roman Reigns win. So, we see this stuff coming down the line, but as we talked before the podcast, they need to have it, and just my opinion, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, have Roman Reigns win and have Seth Rollins cash in and take that belt. We
Hmm.
need a game changer. We need a shocker for people to open their mouths and it's like, what? And, it's, I don't know. That's just my opinion. We'll see, though.
All right, all right. Demizzle, landscape going into WrestleMania. We gotta keep it short for time's sake, but
Uh,
yeah. Same question.
Going forward, it's just going to be a clusterfuck because it's going to be a lot of disinterested people going forward, and they're going to have to find a way to get people interested. Because I'll tell you right now, even though I have the WWE Network, I'm not really interested in watching WrestleMania. Like going forward, you're going to see, I guarantee you're going to see Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker, and nobody really wants to see Old Man Taker being trotted out yet again for another WrestleMania match, which everybody falls asleep, like me. And I really have no interest in seeing Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. They need to, as Shinwar said, they need to spice it up somehow. They need to add Daniel Bryan into it. It might sound redundant, but for second time with a triple threat, they need that because this is the person that the people want to see. And to just counter something that Nelson said, he said he would make Daniel Bryan work his way from the bottom, but this isn't a traditional business. This is
Popularity driven.
yeah, a popularity
I mean,
driven,
despite it being a popularity
consumer
driven,
based,
it doesn't matter.
based.
The man lost.
All right, let me
the
tell you
man
about
lost. I don't give a shit. That's it. It's over.
Dude, but
People need to stop bitching.
Let's take your analysis to another sport. Let's say LeBron James suddenly gets hurt and has to sit out for a year, and then while he's out, Kyrie Irving just blows up on the Cavs and becomes the man. And then when LeBron James comes back, are you gonna make LeBron James sit at the end of the bench just because Kyrie Irving blew up?
No, of course not. You gotta
That
put LeBron James in the game. You
yeah.
want to put your
Okay,
best
but
foot
still,
forward.
in that sense, though,
Yeah,
Dave.
they had to responsibly reintegrate him.
But
I see. I get what Nelson's saying. While Bryant was gone, other people were making their, Rollins, Ambrose, Wyatt. I get that, but Nelson, in the same right, it's almost as if you are in a position somewhere, you got hurt. It's not to say that you should be getting the raises or whatever, but you should be given the opportunity to pick up where you left off.
But
You
the
know.
thing is, what Dave was saying about bringing LeBron James back in after he got injured and whatnot, they're not gonna instantly put him back right away. What happened if he hasn't been training that whole fucking time, and he just got
Dude,
put back into the roster without
they
nothing?
don't put people back into the game before they're
But
ready.
I'm saying,
Like
I'm just
cleared,
just
saying
like
in
Daniel
the sense,
Bryan, like he was medically cleared to come back like
but
2
he
months
wasn't
ago.
training. He
Yeah,
wasn't
he was.
training for that whole
Dude,
fucking time.
if you don't think Daniel Bryan wasn't getting ready and getting his body ready, you must be out of your fucking mind.
That's the
Like,
reason why I'm glad that he lost. So the fans can understand that he can't always have the fucking shine. It's time for someone else's shit to step up. Roman Reigns is that guy now. Let's see where they take the ball with it. That's it. People just need to stop bitching. I'm sorry if I'm going to be like that guy on this podcast,
I think
but it's done.
what I think is gonna happen.
Papa.
They made a good point. They're gonna have to salvage this. They gotta make it right with the fans. So okay, they have their agenda. Roman Reigns is supposed to be the new face of the company. They're trying to groom him into that, right? So I think eventually Bryant is gonna get back to where he was at. You know what I mean? So though, you remember just like Randy Orton and Cena back in the day, it was like, hey, the face of SmackDown, the face of Raw, like they'll be up there at that level. So I say for now, let's see where they go with this. And we'll take it from there. I mean, for the audience, who sees this on YouTube, and those who are checking it out live, leave your comments below. We would like to revisit this in about a week to see where everybody's at
Huh?
with this. I mean, because and also what I think also contributed to the backlash is the internet leaking information. Like back in the day, we used to be surprised by what happened. Now everybody knows what's gonna happen beforehand, and then as soon as Roman Reigns come out, he's getting booed. Like, wow, too much information is out there. So I think that that's actually harming the business. So that's something that they need to look at. Hell, one thing they did do, and I don't know if most of you know, John Cena was pegged to win, and all of a sudden, last minute, they changed it. So it's what it is. We'll see what happens. But bringing this to a close, any final comments or remarks before we log off? Nelson, no, Shinwar and Dmizzle. Any final words?
No final words.
All right, final words, Dmizzle.
WWE screwed it up. They're gonna have to work a lot to fix it and restore the faith and get people interested in WrestleMania.
Alrighty. And Nelson, final words before I wrap up.
Like I said before, it was a crappy pay-per-view. You have a dirty stain on your shirt, Alex, on your neck collar.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
It's actually a marker thing. Long story. I was working on
Okay,
something.
and also, guys, after this ends, we may have a stream. I'm not sure if it's either gonna be myself or Alex or Okami or even Goken, but we are gonna have a stream. Probably like 5-10 minutes after this goes off the air. But as Alex said, leave your comments, your little info in the YouTube section, and follow us on Twitch if you would like to see more of these conversations of anything, whether if it's UFC, WWE, anything in general. Just let us know, and we'll make it happen.
And like I said, Nelson made a good point. We are WWE fans, so we'll always have some sort of content related to that. And then I wanted to thank Dmizzle for taking part in this tonight. And with that, we're signing
Oh
off.
wait,
Like,
wait,
well,
wait, 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 wait.
what's up?
Remember when the crowd was like, "This is bullish."
Oh.
It'd be crazy. I can't wait to see the DVD copy of in WWE edit that out. Oh, it'd be so crazy. They're gonna edit that out.
That's gonna be funny. All right, Chimo made a good point, but New game in order. We'll see you next time. Check us out on Thursday when will we be back like the Juggernaut bitch. This has been Alex Lexus, Nelson, Dmizzle, and Shinwar. New game in order crew. We'll see you next time. Peace.